Thank you for being here. I am very happy to be here to share my work in this Social Innovation Forum, and I'm going to tell you about my experience as an artist and how I believe that art can activate people and can contribute to social change. First, I will tell you that I studied fine art, and I remember that in the faculty we had really nice-looking models, boys and girls. The girls were usually lying down, boys were usually standing up. I was a good student, so I didn't ask myself any questions, and all I did was what they asked from me, and in order to have good marks, I painted whatever I had in front of me. Then, when I left the faculty, I started asking myself questions, I started thinking for myself, and I realized that this pose of the woman lying down horizontally was not anything that only belonged to art. It also was found in cinema, in fashion, in advertising, and so on. It is an image that is repeated very often. So I realized that maybe it's not something that women did naturally, like seeing a flat surface and just lying on it. Maybe it had to do with the function of images that manipulate us in a way, and they influence us in a way. I started studying how images influence us, and they influence on the construction of our own identity, what is expected from us. I continued doing some research about this representation of women in the media, and I started saying that besides showing us in submissive, fragile, and horizontal positions, there was some violence associated to feminine, to female figures, and this was shown in some images that we were supposed to be aspiring to. These are images from adverts, from publicity campaigns that relate a glamorous image with an image of violence towards women. I don't usually create objects as an artist. I usually create experiences that involve people, usually in the public space. So I decided to do something related to the poses that I use for the representation of people, of women. I decided to decontextualize these poses. What would happen if I took these poses from the pictures to the real life? Would it be seen in the same way, or would they cause some kind of reaction? And this is what happened. Siempre he querido ser modelo.
The Ritz Club is like my old home. It's always been my favorite.
of.
Bueno, es obvio que
It's quite obvious that the poses seen in a different context, they are not related with the same. Something that's quite striking that happened to me with this project, it became viral, it was in many media, and I was fascinated by this because if these media publish the same things that I am criticizing, this is a sign that something can change. And I realized that in order to change things, I have to send a message from within. I had to be a part of the media to reach these people that usually get these topics. I have been the only Spanish creator that has been in the ranking of the top 10 fashion films. Between Dior and the other fashion companies, I have this video that is criticizing this fashion. This is one of the best things that has happened in my career. Something even more exciting happened to me. I started receiving versions from anonymous women from the world, and I started receiving these poses, and this was really exciting for me as an artist. I received important information from this. I did not need to generate things to show how good an artist I am. I could work with the creativity of other people. I think this is the point we've reached. From then on, I started asking people to participate through the social networks. I receive emails every day of people who want to participate in my projects. This is a post I published later. People send me their videos, and I did my work using the videos and the things that people sent me. One of the latest actions I did, registry. As you know, the body of women has been constructed by other people and for other people. This comes from the history of art. The painters, men have represented people in a specific way, and this is repeated even nowadays. I would like to show a video now, a video about my project, Registry. In Spain, several years ago, there was a minister, Gallardón, who presented a bill related to the law of abortion, so that women could not decide about the maternity. So I decided to make a call so that the women went to the registry of property registry, and in order to register ourselves as being owners of our own bodies. This became a national movement. In 2014, all provinces of Spain had groups of people, of women going to the registry to request the ownership of their own body. The registries did not understand anything, but they were fascinated about the proposal. They accepted our requests. Even some women who worked at the registry wanted to present their own requests, and obviously we couldn't request the ownership of our own body, because the objects cannot be registered and the body of a woman cannot be registered. So this became a national movement, and it was even done in Mexico and in other countries. One of my latest campaigns was I saw the advertisement of a campaign for selling glasses, and there was a brothel here, and the slogan was have the incredible feeling of trying something new every time you want. And I was quite shocked by this, and the idea was to go to the shops of this brand, going to the shops like this, in the same way that was shown in the adverts, to see if the shops enjoyed having women dressed up like prostitutes in the shops, Obviously, the shops did not like this at all. They called the police. They asked the girls to leave. There was a great scandal. Imagine these girls. They were all volunteers. I didn't know any of these girls. They went to this shop to ask for this advert to be removed. I made a video with these volunteers. This was in my social networks, and it became viral. The same day, it had more than 75,000 likes, 40,000 shared times the video was shared. The advert was cancelled, and the shop, the brand, is now with a different publicity company, advertising company, and now the ads are very different. This is one of the latest campaigns. We need to express ourselves, so we need to have these initiatives to make our opinion reach the producers of products and of images and publicity. I try to generate work that is easily understood, easy to be replicated, that people can make it themselves, transform it and create, inspiring themselves in these proposals. There was some problems in the Sanfermines where women were harassed. I had this proposal, which was a T-shirt that I wore for some time, and which said "Not touch, not kill, not rape." And many women asked for this T-shirt, and many people wore the T-shirt in festivities and so on. I like this collective aspect of art. Art in the latest times has become an individual commercial transaction. You go to a gallery to see something, but I like art that activates people, that creates a community, and it is a group of people who get together and do something jointly. I think that a movement is not generated by one person, it is generated by a group of people who do something together. That's why I try to recover this collective dimension of art. Something that's quite beautiful is that it has an educational aspect. Universities and high schools call me so that I work with young children, with youth, in order to teach them and change society. I participate in some programs, I give presentations and so on, and I write for Huffington Post on a weekly basis about the representation of women in the media, which is something I find fascinating, because being in a newspaper and reaching many people, this makes my message, I can convey my message to many people. I think artists can work for company, for the media and so on, and we can share our knowledge. In one of my latest projects is Children versus Fashion. There's some children who decodified the campaigns of publicity campaigns. They say what they really see. The women are nasty, or they're ill, they're going to die, and so on. And the men are strong, they go to university, they're like superheroes, and so on. This project was received an award in a London museum, and I think this is wonderful, because I received this award in the category of fashion. So I believe that in this sector, in fashion, there are many people who want to change the fashion world and make it better, and that's extremely interesting. I was called by the Parliament in the Commission for a State Pact related to gender violence. They have called me as an expert in the subject, which is something I'm really excited about, because for them to call an artist for their assistance to deal with an issue as important as gender violence, it's very, very interesting. I think that art can provide a very interesting perspective in society. It can activate people and it can transform people. And this is what transforms society. So thank you very much.